Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to another edition of Handicapping Your MBA Odds. With me is my partner in crime,
Sandy Kreisberg, the HBS guru.
written on his fleece.
Written on water? No, written in fleece. Embroidered in fleece.
So today's candidate is a 25-year-old female Indian who works in corporate governance and compliance for an agri-chemical company.
Which we think is either a pesticide, the world's 10 largest agrochemical companies. So my guess is it's a name you may have heard but don't love.
Right, maybe Monsanto, who knows?
Dow, Monsanto,
Exactly.
Bayer,
Right.
stuff like that. But it's a brand name for sure.
720 GMAT, 3.8 GPA at the University of Mumbai in accounting and finance, but she also has a master's in accounting and finance. And believe it or not, while she's working for the agri-chemical company, she is pursuing a law degree, and now she wants an MBA to transition into a job as a consultant for either a nonprofit or public sector practice.
Yeah, she also says she's thinking of getting a dual degree, which, as we toted it up, would give her 5 degrees. That's 5 degrees of separation from getting into business school, if you want my opinion.
Right. In other words, you can be overeducated and therefore unappealing,
This
even
is
for a
beginning-
corporate job
well,
especially.
Look, here's the thing with her. She's a very nice presentation on paper, very winning. She's a kind of a do-gooder. She's in compliance. There's something about perpetual studentdom.
Right.
In other words, you know, she's never sold anything in her life. Okay.
And she's got very big ambitions: Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Kellogg, Michigan, Duke, Berkeley, and Columbia. What do you think about this candidate overall?
Well, let me make it clear. The fact she's in compliance from a business school point of view is not ideal. It's good that she works for a name brand agrochemical company, even if it's making pesticides. Compliance is a dirty word to business schools, both as a matter of ideology, but more importantly, as a matter of selectivity. The brightest lights from the world's undergraduate pool do not grow up saying, boy, I want to be a compliance officer, you know. So that's one thing she's got. And not only does she work in compliance, she seems to love it, okay?
But she does
That's
describe
also
it,
not a good sign.
interestingly enough, she describes it as corporate governance as opposed to compliance.
Well,
because
yeah,
she
she's got a
reports-
whole
yeah.
list of things she does.
And she reports to the
corporate
board
governance.
secretary.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
one of the things she describes herself doing is monitoring inside trading.
Right.
Okay, so that's no way to win friends, folks. She's like a gumshoe for a pesticide company, you know?
That's one way to put it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. And she has some very good extras, which show that she's a really good-hearted person with a great soul.
She's kind of a lost student, okay? That's the way this reads. It's a history of compliance, accounting, do-gooder stuff, helping
Right.
underprivileged children. So my advice to you, you're an attractive candidate with a 3.8 from Mumbai, which is good. 720 GMAT, acceptable. Don't package yourself as minimize the compliance part and try and say that you're interested in, you know, business, you know, dealing with, she's never had this is important for everybody. You've got to look yourself in the mirror and say, have I ever had a client-facing role? Client-facing role is you deal with clients, you know, external people. If the answer is no, and that is the case with her, she's never faced a client, that's not good.
Let's just go over the extras because, like I mentioned, they are impressive, and we should just let the audience know what they are. So she's a mentor to a 10-year-old girl from a lower income background as part of an NGO. She's a volunteer with an NGO to teach at community learning centers. She's won medals in college for running and long jump. She headed the school handball and volleyball teams, and she was on the college football team, which immediately gave me the impression that she wore a helmet and shoulder pads. But Sandy assured me we mean soccer.
Yes, it's soccer. Yeah.
Us Americans, we call it soccer. Outside this country, everyone calls it football. But that's an impressive array of extras that show
John,
much involvement and engagement.
I'm usually the parochial one. Yeah, she's an activist lawyer who does compliance in her part-time. That's the way it reads. So
exactly.
I like you a lot. You got to change that picture. What does she say she wants to do?
She wants to be a consultant in a nonprofit or public sector
It's more
practice.
Right. No, we don't need no stinking clients.
Or how about this? Sustainable growth sector.
That's what you should say, okay? Because that's what you deal. Whatever that means, there might be some clients there. So that's my advice to you: is you really have to present yourself in a much more business-oriented, down-to-earth way. You're going to get some halo points for all of your advocacy for lower-income people, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to. You don't have to put that in italics. I would rebalance my story more towards clients.
Right. Now, I will say this about the compliance of the corporate governance piece. There are few MBA applicants who come from that field, and that could actually put her out a little bit, make her different. No,
it's not a plus.
Okay.
Compliance is a dirty word to business schools.
Why? What's wrong with compliance? It's a necessary part of business.
It's not something a business school views itself as being interested in. It doesn't involve growth or innovation or expanding markets or new services.
Good point. Okay.
It's
policing.
It's police stuff. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's what they view law schools as doing.
Okay, her chances at the big two, Harvard and Stanford. What do you say? Crunch time.
She's got, boy, if she had a 770 GMAT and repackaged herself and told some powerful story about her NGO work, she'd have a chance at Stanford. But the way it is now, with the compliance, which is silver, the 720 is silver, the extras are silver mixed with gold. There's not enough gold. I don't think she's getting into Stanford. The Mumbai thing is silver. This is not my own opinion. I'm translating how the schools view it.
Yep.
So exactly. I think her chances at Stanford are a reach.
10%.
Yeah, 20%.
20% at Stanford. What about Harvard?
People like her can get into Harvard if things fall her way. This is a case where execution matters. This is a case where
Sandy, she needs
matters.
to hire you.
Well,
I rarely say that, but I think
that. Why do you rarely say that?
Because I think her presentation,
she needs to hire. She needs to. Well, let's put it this
appealing.
way.
She needs to tighten her story.
She needs to tighten her story.
Yeah.
If that involves talking to friends, do that. If you've run out of friends, you look to hire someone who can help you get your story straight.
Right. Okay. Odds at Harvard would be a little bit better than Stanford. Because the class is larger.
There's something likable about her.
Yeah.
30 to 40%.
Oh wow, that's pretty high.
30, okay, you talked me out of it. 30%.
Okay,
35. 35%.
That's better. And Wharton, 720.
What's the?
Already has an accounting and finance master's and undergrad degree.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
And we'll have presumably a law school degree when she gets in.
Let me give her some other advice. Stop doing that.
Get another promotion or something in your job, as opposed to getting another degree that you're probably never going to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some degree that you're getting part-time. Right?
Yeah.
Wharton could go for someone like this. She's interesting.
So you got to give Wharton 35, 40.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
and
then
then-
she should get into those other places.
Okay, so that means 40 to 50
Yeah.
at all the other schools
Right.
that you mentioned. So, look, you're going to get in. I think it's really important to package yourself.
Right.
Tighten the story. Don't be all over the place. I think some of the detail that you provided us actually got in the way of your story, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seems taken. She seems in love with the hierarchy of large Indian firms in the at headquarters, in the non-client facing way. Yeah. She's someone who really loves that, which is fine. It's just not something business schools are interested in. They're looking for people who are innovative and client facing.
Right. All right, this is John Byrne with Poets and Quants with Sandy Kreisberg, of course, the HBS guru. Good luck to all of you, and if you would like us to assess your odds, just go down to the comments section and give us your profile, your numbers, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you want to accomplish with an MBA and where you want to go, and who knows, Sandy might pick you out of the crowd. Meantime, happy trails on an MBA road.
Bye-bye.